you really want to know that how to actually divide the spaces in your trusses so that your roof is solid and perfect and even waterproof. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly that. Make sure that you stick throughout the video and actually share and like the video. Now let's dive in. By the way, before you even start, because it helps you get you informed and just gets you to do stuff that you couldn't do in the beginning, right? Yeah. Now let's get started. Now, firstly, step number one that you want to do, because I'm going to give you a solid formula for doing this one, right? Regardless of the length of the trusses that you're going to be working with or using, right? So now let's just assume that your trusses at the type beam that is basically like 10 meters long in length, right? Let's say the 10 meters length. And then the only thing that you're going to need to do is that you're not going to use the type beam, right? You're going to use the inclined side. You go ahead and you measure the length on the top of the truss, right? Now let's just assume the length is 5 meters, right? You have a 5 meter long truss, and then in order to space that, you're absolutely going to need to firstly measure out 30 centimeters, right? Measure out 30 centimeters and just neglect the 30 centimeters, right? The reason is because that first 30 centimeters is going to be used for the first tile. The very first tile consists a different spacing rather than the rest of the tiles going up the roof, right? Right, in the very, very bottom of the roof, the space should be smaller, which is why I recommend using 30 centimeters. And by the way, this is a measuring tape if you know nothing about it, right? I'm going to teach you how to use it someday, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and actually watch more videos, because I'll be making more education videos like this one, right? By the way, it's a generator out there. I know it's kind of making you some noise, but I hope you don't find it like very, very much bad, right? Because I'm operating under load shedding. But that is not the point or the heart of the matter, right? The heart of the matter is finding out how to actually divide the spaces in our trusses so that we can get to have equal spaces for inserting our tiles, right? Now let's get on with it. Now this will minus the first 30 centimeters. Now you go ahead and you measure the total length of the truss, right? Now we just assumed that the length was going to be 5 meters, right? Now it means we've got 4 meters and 70 centimeters, right? Now we go ahead and we take that, right? And then this will depend. It will depend on whether you're given the roof plan or you're not given the roof plan. But let's just assume you have a plan, right? And then in the 5 meters side, you're gonna go ahead and measure the total length, right? Now, in the plan, you are shown that you need to use like 10 buttons, right? 10 buttons. Now what you're gonna do is that this is the formula. I'm giving you the formula right now. You're gonna say the total length minus 30 centimeters, and then you get the answer, right? Which is 4.7 centimeters. And then you go ahead now. You want to find the spaces right now. Then when you want to find the spaces, you're gonna say 4.7 centimeters. 4.7 centimeters divided by 9 buttons. Now you neglect the 10th button, right? You neglect the 10th button. You don't say 4.7 centimeters divided by 10 buttons. You're absolutely gonna get a wrong answer there, right? You wanna minus 1 button and then use 9 buttons. Actually, you're gonna apply that in every situation where you have to divide and measure the equal spaces. It's either in the trusses or in the walls for inserting those trusses exactly. But it's like the same framework you're gonna use in order to find equal spaces, right? Now you just went ahead and said 4.7 divided by 9, and then you get the answer. Once you get the answer, you're gonna go ahead and try to make a spacer. There's something we call the spacer. We use it for speed, right, and for accuracy. Now you're gonna take the spacer, right? The spacer is basically any blank of your choice. Just gonna take the blank, and then whatever answer that you got, 4.7 divided by 9. Now I just went ahead and said 4.7 divided by 9 button, right? Now the answer that I'm getting is 0.52. Now you go ahead and you look for the 0.52. Now in this case, the 0.52 is going to be 52 centimeters, right? So this means if you are going to be using this, it's going to be 52 centimeters, right? 52 centimeters. So this is 52 centimeters. But this is just an example. We don't make such long spaces. This is extremely long, because I assume that the tiles have the average length of like 45 centimeters, if I'm not mistaken, but around that. So the normal space should be around 35 or something like that, right? But this is just an example. Now that you have found out that you've got 52 centimeters as your space, you go ahead and you measure the width of your button, right? You measure the width of the button. So usually the buttons are 4 centimeters wide. You're gonna take this extra blank that you want to turn it into a spacer, right? Then you're gonna say 52 minus 4 centimeters, right? And then you're gonna get 48 centimeters, right? And once you get that 48 centimeters, you're gonna go ahead and be happy to work, right? This should be a friend as a constructor, because you're gonna use it in so many cases. I hope you found the video resourceful.